Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Taurus, April 17, 2022. There can be some indecision in the first half of the day, but things feel more natural as the day advances. The sun in your sector of work and routines in recent weeks asks you to meet your responsibilities and improve your efficiency. On the other hand, you have Venus in your sector of creativity, love, and play, encouraging you to let your hair down and enjoy yourself. Most of the time, you can compartmentalize or combine the two without a problem, but these drives clash now, leaving you feeling a little tense. Ideally, this discontent motivates you to find creative solutions. On a different level, today can bring a sense of relief or release through friends or a partnership. Socially, there can be greater freedom and more effortless expression. The celestial alignment gives today quite an earthy appeal. The day may not be your cup of tea in some ways, as it lacks the elements of passion and fire. But it will be memorable for bringing the ability to trust another with some of your deepest and most tender feelings. This brings a warm glow to your heart that will not be easily extinguished. How can you adjust your communal relationships? You may have your eye on a networking opportunity, like an event, group, or person. Since the moon is glowing in editorial Libra, now could be a fantastic time to tailor your approach so that you can land your first impression. Critical Luna can help you nitpick and then edit your professional demeanor on and offline. After making some necessary adjustments, you may feel more equipped to approach your networking opportunity. Since the moon opposes Venus in Pisces, you may want to consider a somewhat creative approach to forming new connections. On both sides of the financial fence you might be playing a waiting game, but there is every reason for confidence. On the income side of the financial fence, there is not only a lot already banked, but the moon's return to your income sector next week will give you better access to any low-hanging fruit ripe for picking. Longer term, as momentum builds on the job front, so too will the income potential, while Mercury is just 16 days away from giving money matters a boost. You will have to put up with unpleasantness in your private life, being asked repeatedly to take a stance on awkward conflicts. Some decisions may be taken that cause you great pain. Try to see this phase as a chance for inner growth. If you find the right way of doing things, you will be successful. Someone coming your way, right out of your blind spot, will try to shake up your POV just enough to get you thinking about their issues in a new way. Constantly tempted to seek pleasure for yourself, you don't even consider the thought of sharing intimate moments with another. If this is the way you feel, your attitude may satisfy you in the short term, but you notice something is missing, you're disenchanted. Practice self-restraint, reflect on your conduct. Knowing how to care for yourself takes preparation. Bring out the best in yourself by planning ahead. There is almost no physical activity that you wouldn't enjoy, so pick the one that is most convenient for you on a practical level. There should be little or no obstacles in the path of getting this exercise. Build up a practice around this chosen activity and use it as your support for when the going gets rough. Be careful that you don't wind up overly stressed on this day. While this vibration will indeed see you very occupied with tasks, it can also bring tension. This is often the case when something interferes with your plans. Try to remember that you will get things done just as you always do, despite the occasional wrench in your plans. Added stress doesn't help, so take a few deep breaths every now and then. Just as the moon returns to a nostalgic and reflective part of your chart to begin the lead up to a full moon that will put how well you know when to keep your work hat on and when to take it off to the test, Mars returns to a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart. In the sun's final days in your work sector, he will be working to keep your work hat on, but there is some serious competition both today and over the coming weekend. This is coming from planets that know just how busy things are set to get over the coming months. 9 days after Venus, the planet of love not only returned to your romantic sector but to find the stars already starting to align, she is joined by Mars. Mars, the warrior planet of the cosmos, returns to fire up your romantic passions and fighting spirit for the first time in 2 years, and with perfect timing, teaming up with the planets of love, luck, and dreams to help you fight for what you want from love. Our eyes in the sky. Your creative side needs some kind of organization, but the passion is still burning in your soul, especially as the waning gibbous moon trots through earthy Libra. There's a dynamic pull between structure and ambition as a continuing presence with a square between the moon in Libra and Saturn in Aquarius. Also, the moon's alignment with Uranus, also in Libra, will shake things up. There is a conviction in the collective that can go either way. Pay close attention to the news you receive over the next few days, and don't give up on your dream. With plenty of raw and real conversations going on, you might just come to a conclusion that you've needed to see and understand for many years. Never compromise your interests for the needs of others. This moon affirms the necessity of embodying our inimitable individuality. Libra new moon, we have been looking for ways to achieve both personal and relational balance through compromise and diplomacy. Yet, through this process, we have discovered which of our relationships operate under the illusion of giving and take while exploiting our vulnerabilities. Today, volatile events penetrate superficial dynamics and force us to see things for what they are. The moon opposes Mars and also forms a tense T-square with Pluto in Capricorn, unearthing buried resentments and hostilities. Exposed secrets or impulsive demands could spell the end of toxic or stressful relationships, those which have survived under the assumption that we will not speak our mind or make a scene. While these events might be distressing or disappointing, asserting ourselves is long overdue. Certainly, this full moon will not spell doom for romances and friendships on a healthy footing, but it marks an occasion where we acknowledge that we deserve better, and we don't need others to dictate what better should look like for us. The moon enters a short void following this transit, and as is typical during full moons, we should allow time for processing and integration without making grandiose statements or decisions now. Although fights may occur, avoid statements of finality. The moon in Libra, dissipating tensions brought to a climax during the full moon, but also finding us resorting to stubbornness and emotional rigidity. Over the next 2 days, our impulse will be to slow down and ground ourselves, which is good medicine for those with minimal natal placements in earth signs, but may feel sluggish to those who have the energy to burn. We take pleasure in material comforts, making this an ideal occasion for art projects, gardening, or maintenance work which will benefit from patience and a steady hand. If you're under work or other pressure and unable to socialize, you could experience some mood swings. Just try not to behave in a way you might come to regret later. However, Mercury in opposition scrambles our ability to express ourselves. We forget the minutiae, and our interactions become laden with misunderstandings. Frustration is the result of this cosmic clash, so give the time-sensitive deeds on your to-do list a bit of extra padding and prepare for 1 or 2 awkward conversations.